Mic check, mic check. First time doing this, first time out. Make sure the audio works. All right, we're good. We're good. All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Coop call-in show. You might be like, oh my God, I remember this from the fall. Yeah, we're going to do this again. The setup is what it is right now, guys. We're going to try to improve the setup. All right, the setup will improve. This is day one out here. We got to start somewhere, which is going to make me remind you guys, if you have not done so, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Do me the favor. We need to hit 1,000 subscribers. I don't care if it's your mom, dad, your auntie, your uncle, whoever it may be. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. The reason I'm asking you to do so, if you really want to know, which got my morning coffee here as well. The reason I need you to do so, on YouTube Live, you can only broadcast from your laptop until you get to 1,000 subscribers. Then we can broadcast from the GoPro, which will be a lot better. The setup will be much better for me. So please, if you can do that, you would be doing me a huge favor, and you're just going to be improving the content. You're going to be improving the video, everything. So I've got some other ideas in the works as far as the YouTube Live content. We're actually doing something on Thursday with Bobby Haney, rewatching the 2010 National Championship game that's going to be aired on SEC Network. But I would love to have that capability. So if you know anybody, whatever, send them the link. Get them to subscribe to the YouTube channel so we can get to 1,000. But I hope everybody's doing well. Happy Monday again. This is the Coop Call-In Show, 843-790-3377. We've got the Google Voice number. If you want to leave a comment here on YouTube, you can do that as well. But I'm really excited about this. Honestly, I was sitting there and, April, I know the quarantine's been really weird for everybody, which thankfully I think we're sort of starting to see the end of it. With some big news today, Jake's reopening in 5 Points. That's coming up. We're actually going to have a buddy of mine, Jonathan Lamond, that is a regional manager of a bunch of bars in Columbia, including Moosehead, Murphy's Law, Vista Union, some bars you're definitely familiar with. And if you've been out in 5 Points, especially, you've seen John around. So we're going to get his feedback, everything on what's going on in 5 Points, kind of what the timeline is for reopening. Obviously, I think starting today, which I don't want this show necessarily to be primarily focused on talking about coronavirus, because I'll be honest, guys, I don't like talking about it because I am not a doctor. I don't have any insight that you guys probably don't have. So I'm trying to make sure here that, okay, here we go. Cutting off the do not disturb. All right, 843-790-3377. That is the number. I'm going to put it here in the chat as well. You guys can text that number. You can leave a comment in here. Obviously, we're talking everything. I mean, you guys know we're talking Gamecocks, but this is going to be a show, a call-in show, a talk show that is about everything to do with sports. Obviously, it's most likely going to center around South Carolina 95% of the time, but there's other things going on as well. And honestly, I was sitting there. I was like, you know what? The month of April was sort of a, feel our way through it. It's like, damn, I really don't know what to fucking do with myself. Just feel it out, feel yourself through it. And I was like, you know what? We're going to try to kick May's ass. So here we are to kick May's ass. We've obviously been doing the Twitch streams. The podcast has been sort of trucking along with the Carolina Classics. But I was like, we need something else. We need something else daily. I miss doing the podcast daily too often and not have something. Again, though, if you guys, I'm going to keep harping on it. So if you want me to stop talking about it, get people to subscribe to this channel. Because, again, it's going to help me out tremendously to have 1,000 subscribers, 1,000 plus, whatever, so we can stream on different outlets, if you will. Like, so I can stream from my phone, so I can stream from the GoPro. Like, it's going to help out a lot. So, anyways, happy Monday again. Really excited to have you guys joining. And this is going to be a daily thing, Monday through Friday, 10 to 11. Going to plan on having a guest call in every single day. It's going to be very random, as you can see today. I mean, this is not a former South Carolina athlete or anything like that. It's going to be very random across the board. So again, 10:15, by the way, so we're going to talk to John Lamont. It's going to be again though, a mix of Carolina athletes, people involved in the Columbia community, with the USC community, whatever it might be. It's going to be a lot of fun. But then also taking your questions, your feedback. You guys again can call in. This is a live call-in show. We did this a little bit in the fall. And I did it on Twitch for some reason. I don't know why I didn't do it on YouTube Live. We did it on Twitch. It was okay. Ran into some complications and sort of abandoned it. I don't want to do that again, though. I love the idea of a call-in show. I've always kind of Thought it'd be cool to have my own show. You know, people talk about why don't you go on the radio and stuff like that. I've always thought it'd be cool to have a show like that. So this is kind of that opportunity. Again, using the power of the internet. We're going to do it via this way. Again, taking all you guys' questions, comments. It can be South Carolina related, not South Carolina related. I do want to start on a South Carolina related note, though, and I'm going to give this guy a free plug. I forget exactly. Let me go to YouTube here and see what the name of the video was. It was like the fall of South Carolina football. I don't know if anybody's seen this. It's got like 5,000 views. Yeah, here you go. Jason0662 on YouTube, 5.1 thousand views. What happened to South Carolina football, the fall of the Gamecocks? It's an 11-minute video, and it's not really going to tell South Carolina fans anything that you don't already know. I mean, if you're a fan, you followed along with this program, and you've kind of seen, you know, what has happened. It's been pretty evident. But he does bring up some interesting points and some good points. And the one thing at the end of the video that I thought was really interesting, if you go and watch it, which I'll probably pull this clip and put it on social media today, but just talking about how South Carolina, he believes he doesn't know that Muschamp, I mean, similar as we all think, but he doesn't know that Muschamp is the guy to lead this program to the great heights it was under Spurrier, and that he does not think, the big thing he says is that he does not think South Carolina should settle, right? Doesn't think South Carolina football should settle for just good enough. And I mean, I agree with him 110%. I mean, you have to ask yourself, and it's something I preached on the show. Anybody that follows along in the podcast, you probably remember this episode. You know, my biggest question is just, what are the expectations across the board in regards to South Carolina athletics? Not even just football. What are the expectations? Well, number one, what are the minimum expectations? That's the biggest thing, I think. What are the minimum expectations? And number two, is winning the most important thing at South Carolina? In South Carolina athletics, is winning, excuse me, guys, is winning championships or striving, like, is every decision made at the University of South Carolina with the thought of we are trying to win championships in mind? Is every decision made with that thought in mind? Because, you know, I think a lot of fans, unfortunately, take a look at this athletics department, this athletics program with Ray Tanner heading everything as the AD, some of the decisions that have been made, and you know, I'll be honest, I don't as a fan, it really, when I'm even having this thought, it's not a good thing. And I'll be honest with you guys, I don't really think that's the case a lot of the times. You know, unfortunately, I think a lot of the times it's, you know, they want to sell just enough tickets. They want to be just good enough to keep the fan interest there. But as far as winning titles, legitimately battling to win titles, to win SEC titles, to win conference titles, whatever it is, I don't know that is always the leading force in all those decisions being made. Obviously, this whole COVID-19 thing, it throws a wrench into everything for everybody. But, you know, I've seen this on social media a little bit. You know, I'll go ahead and say, he wouldn't mind me saying it. You guys probably know Brad Crawford, a good friend of mine, writes for 247 Sports, CBS Sports, whatever, national college football writer, but obviously talks about the Gamecocks a pretty good bit. And he made a comment yesterday saying that he thinks Muschamp will get 2021 no matter what because of the COVID-19 situations. I understand there are complications and things that have happened because of COVID-19, because of the virus, everything like that. I don't simply understand how you can justify bringing him back after a 4-8 or 5-7 year. 6-6, I think at this point, because of everything that's happened, I think 6-6, and he probably will be back unless those 6 losses are absolute blowout losses. And I don't think 6-6 is enough to justify. 6-6 is enough to justify the program is moving in the right direction necessarily. Sorry, guys, I got a stuffed throat this morning. I don't think 6-6 is enough to justify the program necessarily is moving in the right direction in year 5. But I think because of everything that's happened, they're not going to want to pay the buyout. They're going to keep him probably, unless the other 6, like I said, are just miserable. But if you go 5-7, if you go 4-8, or worse, God forbid, I just don't simply understand how you can justify bringing him back, despite the COVID-19 stuff, despite the financial hits you probably took because of it. I mean, I think if you do bring him back after a season like that, it's going to be a slap in the face to this fan base. I think it's going to be a slap in the fan base or slap in the face to a fan base that, I don't think has crazy unrealistic expectations. Simply a fan base that wants to win. Um, you know, simply a fan base that wants to win consistently. I think South Carolina fans, they might lie to you, but to me, I think South Carolina fans right now, if you told them, hey, we can have a 7 to 8 win a year program, and every 2 or 3 years we sort of catch lightning in a bottle. You have the right mixture of guys, you got some seniors, whatever. You're going to win 10 games and make a run at the SEC East every 2 to 3 years. South Carolina fans would, if you did that for a decade, if you did that for a full decade, it'd be the greatest run of South Carolina football ever in the history of the school. So I don't know any fans that would not sign up for that. And I just don't know that Will Muschamp's even the guy to do that. I really don't. And here's the thing, though, if he's not the guy that can at some point get you to an SEC championship, and you know that, we're wasting our time anyways. Again, 10:11 right now, guys. Welcome to Coop Call-In Show. 10:15, we got my buddy Jonathan Lamont calling in, regional manager over some different bars in 5 Points, the Vista. He's going to be talking about everything going on with COVID-19, how it's affected him, the business 5 Points reopening. Obviously, I don't know if you guys have seen this morning on social media, but Jake's down in 5 Points is reopening tonight. I think it said 4 to 10. Obviously, they're going to be, examining social distancing and doing all that, and they're going to limit how many people can be there, but we're at least moving closer. Things are starting to reopen, which I know is welcome news for all of us that have been quarantined, chilling at home, trying to make the best of it. Obviously, I hope everybody's doing well. You're healthy, you're safe, your family healthy, safe, but I know we're all excited, ready to get back to somewhat of normalcy, somewhat of a normal life, get out and about once again, be able to go out, enjoy a beer, enjoy a burger, whatever it may be. So that's coming up here in the next 3 minutes. Give me just 1 second, guys. If you have any questions, 843-790-3377. This is the day one setup, by the way. The setup will much improve, and like I said, the way you can help it improve. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are trying to hit 1,000. If I could tell everybody I'll Venmo you $1 if you subscribe to the YouTube channel, I would do it at this point. I would love to do that. But out of the kindness of your heart, take 2 seconds and smash that subscribe button. It's very simple, very easy. Do me that favor. Again, it's going to improve the setup. It's going to help out you guys. It's going to help me out, but it's going to help out you guys too. Give me just 1 second so I can put this tweet up. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Like I said, I'm going to be calling John here in just 2 minutes. I'm going to get this rolling here. Again, I hope everybody's doing well. Happy Monday. Looks like we got a couple people tuned in. Yeah, we're going to be doing this via YouTube Live Monday through Friday, 10 to 11. If we see success here, that's another thing I didn't mention. If we see success, which I expect we will, but I figure why not start smaller and expand? We see success here. I'm going to extend the show 9 to 11. We're going to have a long morning show. Everybody kind of kick off their morning. What are you guys doing these days? Is everybody back at work? Like what's the deal? Are people working? Are they still working from home maybe? Still battling quarantine and just chilling? Definitely feel for the people. I know a lot of people that lost their jobs. A lot of people that lost their jobs and are dealing with the quarantine stuff. A lot of people dealing with the quarantine stuff. So I know it's tough on people. I know a lot of people are dealing with filing for unemployment and all that crap. Especially I know a lot of people in the service industry. They're dealing with it. And again, that's why we are so excited that it seems like things in Columbia, at least state of South Carolina. Hell, I was just visiting family back in North Augusta over the weekend, and Augusta, Georgia stuff's open. Like literally, you can go inside and have a meal somewhere. Which is I know some people disagree with it. Whatever. I'm not trying to get in the details, the specifics of it, but. If you're someone like me that wants to see things reopen, wants to see the economy get back up and going, then, it's a good move. It's a win-win for all of us. So we're going to give John a call here because I'm really interested to get his feedback, his take on it. Again, regional manager down in 5 Points, the Vista. If you've been out, you know who he is. I'm interested to get the take of somebody who actually knows kind of what they're talking about. So let's give John a call here.
Hi, please do not hang up. Your call has been redirected to Verizon Financial Services, where a minimum payment is...
Hold up. Hold up. This is not supposed to be happening. This is not supposed to be happening. All right, we're going to give John a call here in 2 seconds. Come on. Here we go. Now we see the problem. All right, let's try to shoot John a call one more time. Here we go.
Hi, please.
Dadgummit. My phone is screwing up, guys. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to give John a text here. Give John a text, yeah. All right, we're going to get John on the line here in just a couple minutes. I don't know what's going on with my phone right now. Verizon trying to tell me I haven't paid them, which is not true. So, which is not true. I don't know what's going on. So again, 843-790-3377. You guys have any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to leave those, obviously. Try this one more time.
Hi, please do not hang up. Your call has been redirected to...
All right, we're going to try to figure this out. We're going to get John on the line here shortly. All right, like I said, guys, any questions? 843-790-3377. It is warm. It is warm up here. Got the morning coffee, everything. Like I said, you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them. If you want to leave them in the YouTube chat, I know a lot of people do that. We've also got the Twitch streams coming up at 11 o'clock, 11:15-ish, basically right after this. We're going to do that. Yeah, so going to be a lot of fun. Going to be really, really good stuff. Let me try to call somebody else really quickly. You guys are just basically seeing this. This is what you do when you don't have like a break. Normally there'd be like a little break here in between, but we don't have that. So okay, looks like it's working. At least I think. I don't know. Maybe it won't let me call John.
Chris, how we doing?
Hey, what's up, brother? Sorry about that. We had some technical difficulties, of course. So technology is great until it isn't. But but no, man, I appreciate you tuning in. Obviously, definitely getting your thoughts. Obviously, I've been talking about, and it was cool this morning. It kind of ties in seeing the news on Twitter about I guess Jake's is reopening today, but obviously you're on the air, you're on the Coop Calling Show. Let everybody know just who you are. Obviously, Jonathan Lamont, a good friend of mine, but let everybody know just who you are, kind of what you do. I know they've probably seen you out and about in the Columbia area, but just give everybody kind of your background on what you do in Columbia.
Sure. I appreciate you having me on the show. I'm excited to be here. So like you said earlier, I run the 3 bars, Vista Union, Moosehead Saloon, and Murphy's Law. So we were all closed down right now due to the virus, but I'm very excited to get back up and running again. Excited for Jake's. I might stop in there tonight. But we are opening. We don't have patio space at 2 of the locations at Moosehead and Murphy's Law. So right now, the only places that are allowed to open are ones with patio space and do patio service. So we are going to be opening Vista Union on Thursday. So excited about that. Some of the staff is going to be able to come back. So moving in the right directions as far as just taking it step by step from with everything going on.
Yeah, no, that's definitely exciting news. Again, I saw the tweet this morning about Jake's. I know obviously I talked about you about Vista Union coming back, and just love the news. I want to ask you though, once this hit, what was kind of, I mean, obviously I know it really was shocking to everybody. And I know, especially in the service industry, because again, I know a lot of people, including yourself, in the service industry that were affected by this and kind of looking for answers. And I know people trying to get back to work and stuff, but what have you been doing over the quarantine, I guess, to, stay as busy, as productive as you can? I mean, what I guess, I mean, is it just a bunch of Netflix, or like, what were you guys doing, I guess, trying to get back and get, stay ready, I guess, to come back and get it rolling again?
Yeah, I mean, it was a shock for everybody, obviously. No one expected that. No one really knew how to handle it at first, or really thought that, when the news first started coming out, maybe it was too overhyped. They're not going to shut down the bars. They're not going to shut down the restaurants. That's pretty much the thought process of everybody, or slightly worried that it might happen. But it did. So we're taking it day by day, strides. But yeah, it was devastating for the service industry community. Everybody got furloughed for the most part. Some people that are still doing to-go orders. I think those people are pretty blessed, and I'm sure they're happy to have employment right now. But yeah, definitely a lot of people are struggling right now. But obviously, we're making some strides right now, and happy that the government's letting us open up patio service. And I think everybody's excited just to get out and be in that environment. I think a lot of people might still be a little nervous about going out. But if you are, then stay home and do what you think is right. But I think there's a lot of people that just want to be out, around people. I mean, obviously we'll still be social distancing to an extent. 6 feet apart. Tables have to be 8 feet apart. So we're trying to set up for logistics of being able to open on Thursday for that.
So what's the capacity as far as, like, I mean, you guys going to be like 15%, 30%, 50%? Like, what's the as far as like normal capacity? What do you think you'll be operating at?
Well, right now the regulations state that the tables have to be 8 feet apart, 8 people per group, and no one's allowed to go. People are allowed to go inside the restaurant to order food, order drinks, but they have to go right back out. So we'll be enforcing that very strictly, making sure when people are at the bar to order, they're not taking too long. We'll bring everything out to them, and not gathering in groups while they're ordering the food as well. So
yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. I really don't talk about like the COVID-19 stuff on social media, because I'm like, like, I mean, Twitter is that's definitely the place where all rational opinion goes, and everybody just understands you. Nobody gets upset, right? That's Twitter for sure. But no, I mean, it's I was talking. I went home to North Augusta over the weekend, and I mean, in Augusta, like, they're legitimately. I mean, I actually went to World of Beer Saturday night, and it was weird being back out a little bit. But I mean, indoor was open, everything. I know Georgia is kind of moving a little bit quicker than others, but I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where, like you're saying, I mean, shit, if you want to get out, you can get out. If you don't want to, you don't. But I mean, right now, and I'm sure you've probably seen this. I mean, I go out right now, and I mean, I'm still going to the grocery store 3 times a week. I mean, Walmart and Lowe's, I try not to go there, but I mean, they're packed. Like, they're just packed every day. So it's just, when you see that, it's like, why not, if you can, obviously. And again, I'm not a doctor. I'm not someone that knows anything about, what's going on, but I think it's good to get people back, get back going, get back to work. I mean, it's just good for everybody. I think, like you said, giving people the option to get out and about. Obviously, again, giving your staff and, you specifically being able to get back to work, I think is a really good thing. And that's the direction we need to move. I mean, if you want to do it in phases or whatever, which I guess is exactly what they're doing. I think it's definitely a positive move for sure. So, how much? I'll ask you this, not to cut you off. How much different? Because I've been talking to some other people, and we already seen a business yesterday's closed down, which I know I heard they were planning on retiring at the end of the year, anyways. But obviously, being forced to do it early, I'm sure after 43 years of business is not something they were planning on doing. But how much different do you think that 5 Points could look after this? Because again, this is all rumor, and you can probably clarify it. But I've heard from people that there's a lot of bars down there that just, unfortunately, I mean, a lot of these college bars, they can't. It's really going to take a toll on them going, say, 2 months without basically any income. I mean, how much different do you think it could, and how much different do you expect 5 Points to look after kind of all the dust settles and we get back to quote unquote normalcy again?
I've been talking to meeting bar owners about. I mean, obviously everybody's struggling regardless, but as far as them closing, I haven't heard anything official about that. So I don't think it's going to change much as far as how many bars are down there. But yeah, it definitely hurts small business owners. I mean, paying rent, paying all the bills without any income coming in, it's but luckily our owner Matt Szymanski's he's a smart guy. Takes care of his money very well. He also owns Burger Tavern 77, which is opening up today. So if you're hungry for a burger, go by there. They have excellent food. But I mean, he's got 4 places that he has to pay while he has no income coming in. So I know that's difficult for sure. But I think if people have been saving and they don't just take their profits and spend it, they should be fine for the next few months. But goes longer than 6-8 months, I think people are going to be really hurting, and you're going to start seeing people shutting down for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely, like you're saying, I think that's definitely the reason they're moving in phases because, I mean, obviously, again, you get on. I try honestly to not even watch the news or anything like that. Like you get on social media though, and everybody's an expert and telling you how long this is going to last and this and that. And it's just like it'll make your head spin reading all the opinions and stuff like that. But no, yeah. Like I said, it's good to see it moving in phases. Definitely Burger Tavern 77, you said? I think I tried to go by there like a couple weeks ago, and I've had their burger. It is phenomenal. So, but yeah, I'll ask you, get you out of here, John, really quickly. Obviously, again, Vista Union opening up on Thursday, the patio. So if you want to get out there, definitely have a beer, have some food, get out of the house. Again, everybody's been stuck in the house during quarantine, just going absolutely fucking insane. I mean, I know I'm one of those, definitely with – I was telling somebody, I was like, my life right now isn't that much different because I didn't go out a ton to begin with, but now we just have no sports. So now it's like, now you're even taking away that distraction. You're like, man, I was telling somebody, it's like the days, some of the weeks have been long, but some of the days I feel like I blink and it's like 7:00 at night. And I'm like, well, it's because I used to be looking forward to a game all day. And, there's a game at like 7 at night and you look forward to that. And it kind of makes the day not drag, but, just kind of go slower. Now it's just like, you just wake up and I don't know. You're kind of trying to find your way. I'll ask you, getting you out of here though, just kind of on a lighter side of things. What's been like your go-to quarantine activity? Again, I know you're a guy that you stay productive, stay busy. But I saw your Snapchat. I know you've been playing some golf. I know a lot of people have been playing some golf actually, which it's amazing how much business I bet golf courses have been doing during this. But what's been the go-to quarantine activity for you?
Yeah, golf is definitely number one. Try to get out there once or twice a week.
You got to be scratch at this point, right? I mean, you must be if you're playing that much.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that for me. It might for other people, but it's not quite there for me yet. But I went to the river and floated yesterday, so that was a good time.
Nice.
But I mean, for the most part, just relaxing at home. Maybe some video games here and there. I do go to the bars and clean up and help out and organize some stuff, getting ready for when we finally do open for everywhere. But golf is definitely number one.
That's for sure. No, probably just cementing those bad habits. I was going to say playing more. It's like counterproductive.
Well, I'm going today, and I got a tee time at 1:30.
There you go. There you go. So. Maybe you'll shoot the round of your life. Now, I was going to ask you last thing. Where can people? Obviously, again, I saw that Jake's was reopening on Twitter. Where's the best place you would say people can find or just kind of keep up with when all the bars that you're head over when they're opening? Is there like Twitter, Instagram? I know Moose and all those guys are on Instagram. Like, what would you say to people is the best way to keep up with it as far as the reopenings are concerned?
Definitely social media. We have specific pages for all the locations. You can keep them separate. So just checking all the locations for Murphy's Law, Moosehead, Saloon, and Vista Union. But we'll be posting up some stuff for Vista Union here probably today or tomorrow, just to get people hyped for Thursday. So we might be changing hours too. We usually open up at 5 o'clock. Obviously, we'll be having to shut down early because of curfew. So we might push those hours up a little bit more. Open in the afternoon, have some day drinkers come out and come get some lunch or something. Don't
tempt me, all right? Don't tempt me. I'm already craving to get out of the house, so don't tempt me on that. But now, John, really do appreciate it, man. Really appreciate the insight and everything. Obviously, it's good to hear some good news from you, and let's definitely do it again sometime. I'll see you out at Vista Union Thursday for a cold beer. That's pretty much a guarantee at this point. So
sounds good, Chris. I appreciate you having me on the show.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, John.
Bye-bye.
All right, man. Later. Perfect. So that's John Lamont. I know somebody called in during that, by the way, but no, good news, man. Good news. It definitely sounds like, and I not that I'm breaking news here or anything. Everybody that's been watching, you guys probably watch the news, Governor McMaster, all that good stuff. It sounds like things are moving in a good direction. Again, I'm not someone, I do want to clarify, I'm not someone that, if you've got your opinions on what should be happening and they shouldn't be reopening and all that good stuff, that is completely fine. I mean, I'm not someone, listen, again, I'm not a doctor, okay? I'm not a doctor. I'm not a doctor here. So if you think they shouldn't reopen, that's fine. If you don't want to go, don't go, right? But at least we're hearing some good news, some positivity when a lot of it's doom and gloom and everybody's negative. Everybody's down in the dumps, if you will. It's good that we're getting that type of news. Mike Budden left a comment, do something with the hat. I don't know why people hate the way I wear my hat. This is just comfortable. You know what I mean? I just got out the shower, brushed my hair. I don't feel like putting my hat all the way down. Just put it backwards. It's just casual. It's comfortable. It's not that big of a deal, right? I don't tell you how to wear your clothes. Breaking news, by the way, ESPN. Don Shula, the winningest coach in NFL history, died Monday at the age of 90. So, yeah, very brutal. That's tough. I know a lot of, it's funny. My grandfather, people ask me all the time, what is your NFL team? What is your NFL team? A lot of people ask me that. And I really don't, I'm honestly not a big NFL guy. South Carolina sort of just runs my life at this point. I'm not a big NFL guy though. Never really have been. My grandfather and my dad both pull for the Dolphins. My grandfather liked Zonka and Greasy. My dad liked Dan Marino, and he actually still pulls for the Dolphins. I mean, I'll low-key pull for him, but it was never, I don't know, it just never became a thing where I was like a diehard, you know what I mean? We didn't all gather around and sit around and watch the NFL the way we did college football. So I pull for the Dolphins a little bit, nothing crazy. But then I moved to Charlotte in 2015. That was the 15-1 year. You guys will probably remember. So I kind of jumped on the Panthers bandwagon a little bit, but it was never something serious. I was more so there to just party, have a good time. People would go out, watch the game, and I was like, why not? I'm going to enjoy this. I'm not going to not enjoy this. I actually paid $200 for a ticket and went to the NFC Championship. I'm glad I did. Even though I wasn't like a diehard, that was a cool experience. That was a cool experience to go to an NFC title game. I remember a buddy of mine telling me, he's like, dude, you better go to that damn game, dude. You never know when the Panthers are going to make it back. You never know. And I'm sitting there like, they got Cam Newton, they got Luke, they got Greg Olsen, they got this, that. No chance they're not back within the next year or two. And what do you know? The Panthers have just fallen apart ever since, and their franchise definitely right now is – I don't know if we got any Panthers fans in here. You can talk about it almost better than I can. But man, the Panthers organization is a huge, huge reset. Going through a huge reset. Over these next couple of years, it's going to be. I like the head coaching hire of Luke from Baylor, but it's going to be very, very rough. Very, very rough. So again, 843-790-3377. That's your voicemail, your text line, your call line, whatever it is. Be taking all the calls. It's funny. I don't have the technology that'll allow, you say people call, like a normal call-in show. People call in, you can screen the call beforehand. This is a completely off the rip taking a risk. So anybody could call in and basically say anything, which will be very, very interesting. But I don't care. You guys call in, leave your thoughts, whatever. Gamecocks related, non-Gamecocks related. Obviously, this is a Gamecock show, but we're going to talk about everything. One thing I do want to touch on really quickly. Let's see. One thing I do want to touch on really quickly. What is in the water in Knoxville, Tennessee? Tennessee football is, what have they picked up? Like 20 recruits or 20 commitments in the past week? I mean, seriously. I'm pulling up the team rankings right now on 247, which these are just insane. UNC is number 2 and Tennessee is number 3 right now. I mean, the last thing you need as a Gamecock fan, the last thing you need or want to hear is Tennessee football is back or is getting back. It's already hard enough to win with Georgia, Clemson, Florida's coming back. Looks like they're back. You throw Tennessee in the mix, and I put this tweet up, and like I said, 843-790-3377. You guys can call in or leave a text, or you can leave a comment here in the YouTube channel, and I'll answer the questions. But I said this on social media. I know a lot of people were not happy about this tweet, and I mean, I wasn't happy tweeting it. That's what I think a lot of people don't understand when I say stuff about South Carolina that's not positive, or I give my opinions or takes or whatever. It's like, I don't want to be saying this either. I don't want to be saying this. But I'm not going to put lipstick on a pig. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit. And basically what I said, if you missed the tweet, was just simply that I think the day that Tennessee football passes South Carolina, it's coming much faster than we all like. Literally, the tweet said, from the looks of Twitter, I can tell a lot of Gamecock fans are having a tough time coming to grips that Jeremy Pruitt is moving UT football closer and closer to the promised land. I truly feared the day when UT would pass us as a program once again. It's here. And again, it's got to happen on field. I'm not sitting there saying just because they're recruiting well, it worries me. You just lost by basically 3 touchdowns in Knoxville the season prior. You went 4-8. Tennessee football, meanwhile, won a bowl game. The trends of the two programs, it feels like they're going opposites. Tennessee football feels like they're on the up and up. They're on the rise. South Carolina football, in a weird place, in a very, very weird place, in a strange place, for sure. So it scares me. It really does. It scares me what Tennessee football is doing. I'd love to get you guys' thoughts on it, though. I'd love to get you guys' thoughts on what Tennessee is doing overall, just recruiting. I know a lot of people, it's funny when people talk about their predictions for the season. Again, you get the Vols at home this year. And again, this is me assuming football is normal. I really don't want to hear people comment or hear people call and say, well, there ain't going to be a damn season. Like, okay, if you think there's not going to be a season, that's completely fine. But I'm going to talk about football as it's going to be. I'm going to talk about it like it's going to be normal until somebody tells me it's not. Okay? That's what we're going to do. So, you get Tennessee at home this year, right? You get the Vols at home. So you have that opportunity there. And that really, to me, is one of those swing games you need to win. I mean, it is. Now, am I saying you're going to be a favorite? No, you're not going to be a favorite unless you come in that game. Let's say you're 4-0, whatever. How many games? You probably played 5 at that point. You're 4-2 or 4-1. I don't know, whatever. But you're probably not going to be favored. But that's one of those swing games you really need to get. That you really, really, really do need to get, honestly. But it scares me a lot, because you're already having a battle with the Clemsons, the Georgias, Florida's coming back. Like, it's already hard enough. It's already hard enough. But, it's crazy how long Tennessee's been bad. It really is. When you really think about it, it's truly amazing how long Tennessee has been bad at football. I mean, Their last national title was in 1998. And since then, I mean, early 2000s, I guess Tennessee was still really, really good. But once it got to about 06, 06, 07, really? I don't know. I mean, we beat them in 05, lost to them in 06, lost to them in 07. Did we lose to them in 08 too? Oh, yeah, because 08 was I'm trying to think. Did we lose to? Because 08 was at home. I think we lost to them in 08, almost positive. Because we lost to them in 09, too. Lost them in 09. No, 08, we beat the crap out of them. That's right. 08 that was a Stoney Woodson pick 6 game. I'll never forget that. 08 beat the crap. 09, we lost them. And then you go on that run. But Tennessee football, what I'm saying, the 2010 to 2020, to now, that decade, terrible for UT football. But it worries me. And I don't think Jeremy Pruitt is like some world beater head coach. I mean, I guess we don't really know enough. He hadn't been a head coach long enough to make that determination. Obviously, we know he's a great assistant. But I never thought of Jeremy Pruitt as like this world beater head coach. But what he's doing, what they are doing on the recruiting trail, you cannot deny. I mean, and again, these recruiting classes will fill out. And listen, UNC is not going to finish number 2 in the country in recruiting, right? They have 14 commitments. I mean, they have a lot of commitments. But, I mean, 10 4-stars, dude. They have 10 4-stars. UNC has 10. And what, 14 commitments? Right now, we only have 6, but South Carolina, 49th in recruiting. 1 4-star commitment. And again, only 6 commitments. Only 6. Way early. Very early in the class. Auburn's 45th, for example. They got 4 commits. Alabama, hell, I think Alabama's like 54th. I'm loading it now. Yeah, dude, Alabama's 55th. They only have 3 commits, though. 2 of the 3 or 4 stars. But, you just see the momentum that UT football has picked up, and it makes me nervous. It makes me nervous because, again, we already know how hard it is to win with the powers around you doing what they're doing. The show, we all know how I feel about Will Muschamp. There's no point in me even rehashing it. If you guys want to hear it, though, we can go down that rabbit hole once again. Unfortunately, I think South Carolina football maybe has fallen behind during the Will Muschamp era. Fortunately, the Gamecocks have recruited at a pretty decent level. I mean, a pretty good level. So the next head coach that comes in should have some talent to work with whenever that happens. But yeah, it makes me very nervous. And again, it doesn't even Butch Jones recruited at a high level, didn't win games, didn't matter. So, recruiting's not everything. It's definitely not everything. And I know a lot of people got not upset, but didn't obviously like hearing the comments about the 2021 recruiting class, and that I just don't think it's going to be that good of a class. I'll be shocked. I'll be truly shocked if South Carolina finishes top 30 in the country in recruiting for this 2021 class. In-state recruiting's terrible this year. The prospects are not good. They're not good. They're not good. 843-790-3377 if you guys want to voice your opinions on this, by the way. One guy that did release his top 5 over the weekend that I do definitely want to talk about, J.J. Jones. His top 5 coming out, Mississippi State, Georgia, Tennessee, South Carolina, and North Carolina, the 4-star wide receiver from Myrtle Beach. I mean, is there more of a must-get than that? He's definitely one of the top-rated players in the state. Yeah, I'm very curious now. We're going to look at South Carolina State recruiting rankings. You guys, so we can find out, where does J.J. Jones rank in the state of South Carolina? Because he's got to be one of the tops, if not the tops. Got to be. Here, let's go 2021. Here we go. Oh, that's okay. I was like, what? That's not for South Carolina. That's nationally. Let's see. South Carolina here. Okay. He's a second-ranked player. Okay. Tyron Ingram Dawkins is a 6'5", 292 defensive tackle from Gaffney. He's actually number 1 right now. They've got him 67% leaning to South Carolina, 33% to Georgia. 4-star kid. So at least the good news is for South Carolina, the top 2 guys in the state are leaning Gamecocks. That's the good news. And it looks like J.J. Jones, they're favoring him to go to South Carolina. But must get. That's a must get. You're hurting at the wide receiver position too. You need a big-time wide receiver. After this season especially. I mean, hell, I'm worried about the wide receivers this year. Then you take away Shi Smith next year. Who's even your guy next year? You know what I mean? Who is even your guy? So you're going to need some big-time wideouts to step. You're going to need to bring in some big-time wideouts. You're going to need a lot of your young guys to step up that you brought in this year. But J.J. Jones is a must-get. You can't lose him to UNC. You can't lose him to Tennessee. I mean, during this time, which, if you don't like it, that's completely fine, but I'm going to say it. The biggest advantage for South Carolina right now, because of Clemson's success, is that Clemson doesn't have to recruit in the state. They don't. They don't have to recruit in state. And I mean, again, you can get upset if you want, but I would 100% argue that's one of the reasons Muschamp and his staff have done so well in state, is because Clemson doesn't have to. Because if Clemson really wanted all of the guys that South Carolina, let's say, got last year, you look at all the guys that South Carolina got last year in state, which was a ton. If Clemson really wanted them, you don't think Clemson would get like half of them? Really? Come on. You don't think Clemson would take half of them? I mean, they would. They probably would. Dak Joyner literally is a perfect example. Literally said if they would have let him play quarterback, he was gone. He was gone. He'd have been there. So, you know, I mean, Clemson's success has actually helped South Carolina in regards to in-state recruiting. The reason that I said the 2021 class is going to be rough is because, I mean, Ingram, Dawkins, and Jones, those are the top two guys in the state, right? 4-star guys. Justice Boone is number 3, 4-star kid, defensive end. He committed to Florida. After him, all 3-star kids, which I'm not trying to knock 3-star kids. We've seen a lot of great players, great South Carolina players that were 3 stars, for sure. But South Carolina is going to have to go out of the state and get blue chippers. They're going to have to. And I just don't know how much realistic success you're going to have trying to go out of the state, get blue chip kids, when they're not stupid. And the negative recruiting has got to be at an all-time high. It has to be. The negative recruiting has got to be massive. You know? Opposing coaches telling kids, hey, like, that coach is going to get fired. Like, you're going to waste your time going there. Don't go there. You know? I mean, it's already easy to negatively recruit against South Carolina, unfortunately, because of the lack of tradition, because of the current trend of the program, coming off a 4-8 year. You know, you're really going to have to sell that win over Georgia last year. And you need to, the one thing I'll say this that can save the recruiting class, you need to have a good record. Need to have a good season. You need to show promise for the future. You need that 7-5. You need that 8-4. And I don't know if you guys heard this. I don't know if you guys remembered, but again, everybody knows how I feel on Will Muschamp. Everybody knows that I want a coaching change. If we go 7-5 or better, I will literally, I'm not even kidding. This is on record. I'll tweet this. I'll make a short video, whatever. I will literally handwrite an apology note to Will Muschamp, and I will mail it to the football office. Or hell, I live down the street. I'll just walk down there and give it to him. But I will literally write a handwritten apology note. I will read said apology note on social media where everyone can hear it, and I will give it to the football staff. Not even joking. Not even joking. Do I see it happening? No. I've got the Gamecocks at 5-7 this year. I know everybody loves to ask me. Everybody loves to ask me what my record projection is. 5-7. That's my record projection. So we do have some questions coming in here. I want to get to these really quickly. 843-790-3377, guys. You can call in. You can text. Don't be afraid to call. Don't be afraid to call. This is a call-in show. That's the point. Let's see. Tyler Trevino says freshman wide receiver with the most receiving yards this year. By the way, guys, when you text in, leave your name because I'd like to give credit to the people who are asking these questions. So Tyler Trevino, freshman wide receiver with the most receiving yards this season. It's either going to be Rico Powers or Michael Wyman, in my opinion. And I'm going to go Mike Wyman. I think Wyman is a kid. And listen, you're going to need all these guys to step up and play. You are. You're going to need these guys to step up and play. I like Wyman. I think Wyman can be a guy that makes a big impact this year. Give me Mike Wyman, had the most receiving yards at all the freshmen. But I do think Rico Powers is going to play a lot. Here you go, Braden Tripp. Who do you think lands J.J. Jones? Hopefully South Carolina. It will be a major miss. I mean, you think about it. The kid's in state. You need wide receiver. He's going to play. That's the biggest selling point. You're going to play, dude. We're losing Shaw Smith. We got a bunch of unknowns outside of him. You're going to play, dude. You're going to play. So, So anyways, I don't know necessarily. I think South Carolina's got a really good shot. But with all the uncertainty, especially with the head coaching spot, I don't know. With all the uncertainty of Will Muschamp and his job, but you got to get him. You got to get him. You got to sell. You got to sell to this kid playing time, being the hometown hero, playing for your home state school, the flagship university, all that good stuff. You got to sell that. The team that scares me the most in his recruitment, not Tennessee, it's UNC. UNC has got an insane amount of momentum, and he lives in Myrtle Beach, so he's not that far from North Carolina. You know what I mean? He might think of UNC as his home, as his school. You know what I mean? So you got to get him though. You got to get JJ Jones. Cooper Darby, what's your go-to Gamecock game any sport and year to watch during the quarantine? You know what's funny? I haven't been watching replays of as many games as you would probably think. I really haven't. For whatever reason, I just haven't. I haven't been watching that many replays. But if I was going to, 2014 Georgia football, I've talked about that. That's one of my all-time watches. Great football game. I was at the game. We win. Great memory. Either one of the Clemson baseball games from 2010 in Omaha, I found myself watching those a little bit. Pretty much the typical answers, though. 2010 Bama, 2013 Clemson, 2012. Here's the thing. I'll say this, though. 2012 Georgia, I would not rank it that high. Watching that quarter is amazing. But, the game itself was kind of – we killed them. Like, the game itself was a little boring. And, obviously, I love the way the game turned out. But just watching it as a replay, it's not the best replay watch in the world. Still a good watch, though. But, yeah. So, let's see. I don't know who this is. Who's going to be the most productive freshman this year? Most productive freshman this year. It's got to be Marshawn Lloyd. It's not even close. It's got to be Marshawn Lloyd, man. It's not even close. Kid's going to be starting day one. Going to play every down. If South Carolina, I'll tell you this too. If South Carolina goes 7-5, 8-4, God forbid better, which I think 8-4 is probably the cap on this season. Marshawn Lloyd's a household name. Listen, Ryan Helinski's played a lot better too, because Ryan needs to step his game up. But Marshawn Lloyd's a household name if we're that good. Marshawn Lloyd's rushing for close to 1,000, if not 1,000 yards. So, definitely Marshawn Lloyd. Paul says, is Ray Tanner good as an AD? I don't know, man. Not really. How you can only be judged on the success of the athletics department under your reign. And I know the athletics department as a whole has actually been pretty successful, especially the women's sports. For whatever reason, we kick ass in women's sports. I don't think everybody's meant for every job, though. I don't think Ray Tanner's meant to be an athletic director. I think there's a lot to it. And I think that's a tough thing. That's why it's so hard to go after Ray Tanner's, because I don't think most people really know what an AD does. You know what I mean? Most people don't know what an athletic director does. So, I would say no, though. I don't think he's a great businessman. I don't think he's a great negotiator. I think he lets people walk all over him. He makes bad deals, as we've seen with the Will Muschamp thing. So, I don't think he's a great AD. No, I don't think he's a great AD. So, unfortunately, I love Ray. I love him. But just don't think he's a great AD. Weston says, when will we be good in recruiting with all these top-tier recruiters? We've been pretty solid. We've been solid, for sure. We've been solid. I just think this year will be rough because there's just not as much in-state talent to take advantage of. But we've been solid. I don't think the recruiting classes have been bad. I think you can win big with a top 20 class. But you better have a coach that can coach up that talent. Or at least coach it to that level. Like, you shouldn't be recruiting at the level South Carolina is and finish 4-8. It just should not happen. It should never happen. I don't know. I don't think this is unreasonable. I'm of the belief I don't think South Carolina should ever miss a bowl game. I think that's just completely inexcusable. I don't think South Carolina should ever miss a bowl game. Your facilities are too good. Your fan support's too good. You've got enough talent. You shouldn't settle. You shouldn't settle. And missing a bowl game, it should not be acceptable ever. Let's see. Thomas Brady, best quarantine shows to binge. If you haven't watched Dave on Hulu, that's a hysterical watch. Mad Men's always a good show to binge. Entourage, if you've got Amazon Prime, is a great show to binge. I know everybody's watching like Ozark. I'm not a big Ozark guy. If you want to watch that, though, be my guest. I did watch Tiger King, unfortunately, which just terrible. It's just awful. Just an awful show. Let's see what else. See, I'm not like a huge. I try not to spend all my day on Netflix. I really don't. I like to be productive and get things done, and that's obviously just, I know we've all been killing time during the quarantine and everything, but Dave is a funny show. That's the show I'm watching right now. Every Thursday they're dropping a new episode. It's hysterical. It's just so funny. It's a show about Lil Dicky and like his life as a white rapper, and like kind of shows and profiles like the struggles he goes through and all that. It's hysterical. If you need to watch that. It is very, very, very funny. But I mean, yeah, there's a lot of other ones. You know what I mean? There's a lot of other ones. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, Outer Banks is this show everybody keeps talking about. I probably definitely will not watch that. All Americans, a show a lot of people talk about. So a lot of good movies too. I mean, I've been kind of mixing it up with the movies and the shows and all that stuff. But yeah, there's a lot out there. Let's see. We got one more. Jaron Hobbs, favorite uniform combo. This is an interesting question because I think your answer might actually surprise. My answer might surprise you because I'm someone that I like mixing the unis up. The Black Magic unis are phenomenal, right? They're great. Those throwbacks are great. But the more we wear like alternates, basically, or we mix up the color of the helmet, or we mix up this and that with the jerseys, and people are like, oh, we need to do the tail feathers on the helmet again. Oh, we need to do the battle grays. Like, to me, man, it makes me just truly appreciate the simple white garnet white. It's so clean. It's so fresh. I'm someone that, like, I'm not a big, like, stickler with unis. Is like, oh, we need to be traditional, or oh, we need to be forward thinking and futuristic. But like, I've just gotten to the point where, like, I do kind of wish we just had, like, we established some sort of tradition. You know what I mean? Like, I think the white garnet white is such a clean look. I think the white helmet is so underrated. I don't know why the white helmet with the block C gets all the hate it does. It's the cleanest helmet we've got. I like the matte black. The garnet helmet needs some work. The matte black helmet's dope, though. But the white helmet with the 3 stripes, that is South Carolina. That is South Carolina. I mean, I don't know. And you know what? Why I love big game garnet so much, white garnet, I think of winning when I see those unis. That's as much tradition as we have. When I see those uniforms, I think of winning and winning big because of the Steve Spurrier era. 110%. I think of winning. I think of winning, and I think winning big. If it was up to me, our combos would be this. White, garnet, white is our primary home. White, garnet, big game garnet for big games. We also have an alternate home of white, black, white. And if you want to do it, another alternate, all black. I'm not saying get rid of the black helmet. Make it an alternate, though. Okay? Maybe for like a night game, a big home night game, whatever. On the road, we have white, primary road uni. White is clean. It's fresh. I also like, I like black on the road. I think black is very dope. Looks very, very good. Hold on. We just got a text here. Let's see, something happened. Here we go. Yep. Read this tweet real quickly as we're wrapping up. It's 11 o'clock. We're going to end this. At B. Marcello, who is a national college football reporter, North Carolina received a, quote, transformational gift from Eddie and Joe Allison Smith Family Foundation to support the football program. UNC not releasing the total, but it's the largest ever, beating the previous total of $15 million. Family asked gift to, quote, remain in confidence. It's just getting tougher and tougher and tougher for South Carolina football, and we will end it on that, guys. Appreciate you guys tuning in. The first Coop call-in show. Let's have some people actually call in tomorrow. No, we'll have another guest tomorrow. Really do appreciate you guys tuning in. We'll do it again tomorrow, 10 to 11. We'll talk soon. Thanks, guys.